She's talking.
No bullshit
Something on my mind.
Oh, somebody please, please tell me what's wrong. You just a fool. You know you in love. What you say? Hey, 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 hey.
Yo, we ain't got no.
I ain't gonna come up there and give her a kiss. Beat
Yo,
your ass.
yo, I'm down.
And I'm Charity.
And I'm Des.
And welcome to She's Talking. How y'all ladies doing this week?
All
Another
right.
week we made it through.
I'm tired. I ain't even gonna hold y'all.
Yeah, I'm trying not to even say it no more. I'm tired of saying I'm tired.
Now, what I will say, right, is that spring started on the 20th, which was Friday. Mm-hmm. And because I couldn't have my New Year's tea party because it's still cold here in Connecticut, I did some spring cleaning.
Okay.
It was nice, but be on the lookout because I am going to do it the first warm weekend because I got to have my tea party. Yes?
Okay.
All right.
We'll be looking for it. We're going to bring our cameras.
Oh,
We're going
you
to come
coming?
record so we can show people.
You coming
No,
now?
I'm standing outside the gate.
That's crazy.
So I can show the people. Look what she got going
Supposed
on.
to snow one day this week.
It's supposed to snow this
I
week?
think
I heard
tomorrow it's
That's
supposed to be
crazy.
41 and it's supposed to be some flurries. But
Mother
let's-
Nature, what's
let's
going
pray
on?
it just
Let us
ease on by us.
let the cold go. We ready for it to go.
Yeah, I'm tired. It's time.
Yeah, please.
Been time.
Especially because where we live in Hartford, the plows ain't good, so it need to go.
Yeah, amongst other things.
Let's get into it. Y'all saw that Hartford School is in a financial crisis right now.
Over the $70 million budget deficit.
$74.5 million in deficit. How'd that make y'all feel? I'm just saying the people want to know.
The schools ain't never got no money. They ain't never got no money for
It's
the
just never been
schools.
this bad. That's the only
Yeah,
thing. It's just
it
never
never.
been this
I
bad.
agree with that. I agree with that. It has never been this bad, but like over the years, everything has been bad. It just keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. But I don't feel like they take education seriously.
Which is crazy because, right?
They don't take our education seriously. It's
But
not
I
like
don't-
this in other towns and stuff.
Well, I won't say that. I feel like there are other states and cities that are going through what we're going through. Their numbers are much higher than ours just because they're bigger states. So I feel like
You're
it's
probably
a-
talking about like the urban schools.
That's what I
Talking
mean.
about the urban schools.
Urban
yeah.
communities.
So like Philly it has a $400 million deficit, right?
Like, how you could be in $1 million? Like how is that fucking possible?
Yo,
Well, it's a bigger state.
state.
So
more schools.
yeah.
And then Minneapolis, which I don't even understand how they out there in these streets not having no money for school. I think they had $100 million deficit. You know, the Somalians need to go ahead and get them their bread back. You feel me? Help out the school, donate, help a friend, wherever your learning system academy is. Donate to the local schools in your neighborhood. Get them a little bread. Y'all ain't got no kids in y'all establishment. Get them some bread so they can teach the students.
Yeah, they gotta do better because they got emergency funds. It's time to use them.
Yeah, but if they use emergency funds, Hartford is not going to have any money. I don't think
Right.
they have a separate pot for education. It's just all one
Compared
pot.
to everything else.
Well, use some of it. Shit. Now I mean, they gotta use the whole thing.
Listen,
Do y'all feel like, okay, so like in my opinion or whatever, being a product of Harvard Public Schools, I
I
feel
think we
like
all are. You are too, right? We all
Right.
are. Okay.
I feel like somebody definitely is moving money and they living a life of lavish while the kids are struggling.
A lot of them are. A lot of people, they getting the money, supposed to be opening these programs and everything else. And where's the money?
Where
And
is
a big problem are the people that's in leadership. They are not in the schools. They have a lot of them have never even been in a school. A lot of them have never been a teacher. They don't know how the systems work. They don't know what works best for teachers for each of the different roles. So they just be putting out, we're going to do this and we're going to do this and we're going to do this, but it's not conducive to the environment in the
Yeah,
schools.
right.
It's not conducive to the school system. It's just they just be saying stuff because they got mouths.
Yeah, they just getting that. They getting the money though. Like you said, a lot of they're getting that money. They're using it on what they're using it for, and most of it is not going it back into the children at
Most
all.
of it is going into other schools because
Right.
you have the amount of children that have special ed is insane. There's a
If
lot
I'm not
of
mistaken, I think I
children.
read something like that. They said that most of the money is going to like the
Yeah.
special education
You have to
department in
pay. So
schools.
if you have a kid that is from Hartford and they're going to an out of district school, you have to pay that other district school. All the stuff
Yeah,
for special
and that's what
ed.
they said that the budget is really going to.
And remember, Hartford is out of all the schools, Hartford is one of the only schools where you can go to a school outside of your district in the suburbs. And if you live in East Hartford or Glassman, you have to go to either your district school or you have to go to a school within Crack. You can't. Hartford is open choice.
Right.
My daughter was bussed out at a point in time for school. I didn't see no, like, she was bussed out and it wasn't worth it. Everybody make it seem like it's the best to send your kids out to these schools, but it wasn't worth it. When she got brought back here, it was way better for her to me. Like, in the school was more active. They was calling. They was getting her ready for college. When she was out, bust out, I didn't even hear from them folks.
Yeah.
I never heard anything from them. Even though she specified she didn't like school, nothing. I just never heard anything from them. And I don't feel like their curriculum was that much advanced that it was a reason for her to really honestly be out there. Besides the environment. It was the same shit that she dealt with here in Hartford.
Yeah, I think it's all. Everyone has different experiences. Different schools you did get different experiences. Because my daughter's in a crack school, and it's cool. Working in a public school, I prefer for her to be in the school she's at because I don't think my daughter is built for the public schools the way they are. Although it's basically they're all basically public schools of the way they ran. I just feel like it's a little bit more hands-on and the way they keep parents involved and stuff. I like the way they do that.
That's what I was gonna say. Like my youngest son is currently in a crack school, but I started him off in an inner city school, and he was in kindergarten, which he should have been in pre-K, and the teacher just passed him right along, and he was struggling in kindergarten. She just passed him right to first grade. So once he got into the school that he goes to now, his first grade teacher is like, I don't think he's ready. I want to put him back, and I'm like, put him back, because I'd rather him go back in kindergarten than for him to be a senior in high school struggling and have to be put back in high school. That's way more embarrassing. So once he went back, he was doing good, but it seems like the deficit, like all of the places that have deficits, the schools that are suffering are the inner city schools. And for me, like when I see our inner city schools suffering, I think it's more so a part of unfortunately, the gentrification. Like they want to build this up for something else and not necessarily for us. Because if we think about it, if a lot of these schools close down and they never plan to reopen them, they now at some point could go up for sale to be used for something other than a school. But
that never happens. The schools just sit there and you empty.
So I don't know, because like here we have the Dunkin' Donuts stadium right down the road where we could them people could have used that money to do something else, but that's supposed to bring in money, and I don't see no real money coming in from that. But just little things like that, it just make me look around. Like even in our neighborhood, the old shops and the strips or whatever, they getting redone over and everything. It's just making me feel like, are they making it so that they are able to collapse the school system to build it up to be better for somebody else? Because they definitely trying to move us out.
I don't think that's it. I think it's the fact that we have way too many schools. They got the magnet school bug and made so many magnet schools that was unnecessary when you really only needed a couple. In the beginning, there was Capital Prep, Classical Magnet, and I think there was one other magnet school. It's 39 schools in Hartford.
And
Why
that's
do we have
crazy.
39 schools?
And we not even that big.
Remember, we only had Weaver, Buckley, and Hartford High.
Yeah.
That used to be 3 high schools. That was it.
Now it's like,
why?
It's a lot. Like every time you turn around, I be like, God.
And then there's schools inside of schools.
Right.
You have renamed schools. I don't even know what schools we would anymore. It's like I'm used to Fox, but now it's like Achievement First. I'd be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Because I remember when they.
But that's even Quirk Middle is not Quirk Middle no more.
It's global.
Global. And then they
and
got
the crazy
like,
thing with that, right? So where Global is located, it's the old Quirk. Global is not even allowed to utilize the entire building.
no, because they got adult ed in there.
Adult ed is in there, but also
they got a
the
PAL
police
program, and then the police department on the
is
other side. Yeah.
They using it for their training grounds. And my thing is that if we have all these other schools that are empty, the Harvard Police Department should use a different school. Let those kids, because they could barely have gym in their school. Because I know somebody that works there. So it's just like, at the end of the day, like with all of these schools, 39 different schools, who's suffering for real? And for me, in my opinion, it's the kids.
It is.
We're not following what Whitney Houston said. He said, the children are our future. Let them teach them well and let them lead the way. If we don't teach them well, they're going to lead us into foolishness. We already in foolishness, but I'm just saying, it's not going to get no better if we...
It do. We got to get the money. We got to find it somewhere.
It's
Put
just
something into the
leadership.
school, yeah.
Leadership from the top to the bottom sucks.
Literally from the top to the bottom sucks. Like, not even just in our neighborhood, not in our city, but like from all the way up top to the bottom.
This is why voting is important.
It is. So you should get out and
Not
vote.
just voting for your president, but voting for
Local,
your
too.
councilman, voting for your senators, voting for everyone from the top to the bottom is important.
So with that being said, guys, right? Because we now know with the numbers that we've seen for the deficits for just a few of the states and cities in our country, we know that. I don't know why Florida not on the list, because it'd be a lot of special folk coming out of here. So in recent news, 2 little girls, we're gonna call them Dumb and Dumber, got arrested, and they was in the back of a cruiser talking about how they wish they could shoot up their school.
No, what they was doing, they want to stab up the boy in the school.
Stab him up. I
And
thought it was trying to
resurrect.
shoot him.
Yeah,
And resurrect.
because he looked at like the shooter from the Sandy Hook. So basically, they planned to kill him. That's what they wanted to do, so they can get into the community of true crimes and to be able to tell their story. But they sat behind in the cruiser, and everything is being recorded, and they have it all on tape. They was talking about putting makeup on for their mug shot. They knew they was going to jail.
So instead of making it to the true crime, they made it to the dumbass segment. Oh,
that was
Along with a jail cell.
Right.
Fucking jail.
So
They
now you're
deserve
in jail. And you look dumb as hell.
And the bad thing about it is that they young. They
14 and 15 years old.
They so young. And that goes to play that even in school, like they got arrested at school. Like these kids ain't in school to learn. They don't want to learn shit.
I don't think people realize the impact that COVID had on kids.
Yeah, it
COVID
did.
was very destructive to young kids, their mental health, being isolated, not being able to be social, not being able to build those social skills at such a young age. Because social skills is not just communicating; it's how you create bonds with other people. It's how you learn to maintain relationships. It's how you learn empathy. It's how you learn social cues. It's, you know what I mean? It's a whole bunch.
But
that
also,
comes with
mental
it.
health is really something serious, and I always say that y'all know I'm an advocate. Mental health is something, and people don't be realizing that their kids need help, and they don't understand different things about them, different behaviors. People go on with their life, and as parents, we all busy, so sometimes we overlook some things. But with our kids, we got to be more vigilant about the things that they be going through, because meanwhile, your kid in the room talking about shooting up a goddamn fucking school, and you got no idea, or going to kill somebody's kid, and you don't got no idea that your kid is doing this. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how many school shootings that we have, and mall shootings and job shootings, because people done reached their fucking peak or just mentally unstable, and nobody knows until they go through their kids' rooms, reading
Which I don't
books.
understand why.
If you live in my house, I'm in everything.
I'm in all your business. What? You don't have any business until you can bring a few dollars in, bro. Until then,
it don't even matter
you
if you
got
can
to
bring
pay
dollars.
for privacy at this point. You got to
Yeah, but
pay for
at
it.
the same time, you go through the room and you find all this stuff. It's like, okay, but you're already there once you find it. I think the problem is, again, education. There's a lack of education when it comes to mental health, especially because of the stigma that surrounds it. So there needs to be education brought to the forefront when it comes to parents, people, and just in general, but recognizing how certain things show up, whether it's anxiety, whether it's depression, whether it's
I
you
believe
actually
that, but
have
sometimes,
mental
like you
health
said,
issues.
even if it's presented, right? Some people just go over it. You get what I'm saying? They busy. They just looking like, I know something wrong, but I'm not really addressing the something that's wrong. You get what I'm saying? Even if we don't know, it's always speak to somebody.
But this is the other thing, though, that we have to take into consideration is that we're talking about a generation who, right? So the kids that are being raised right now, their parents either are dead up advocates for mental health, going into therapy, whatever. But we're going into therapy in our adult lives, so we're learning. Or they have parents or grandparents who don't believe in that. They feel like if you go to therapy, you crazy. It's still some parents, like I know,
That believe,
you know what I'm saying, that feel
I get
like
what you're saying.
they still follow that motto, what goes in this house stays in this house. It's still some parents out there right now like that. So how do we expect for them to learn about mental health to help their children if they're not even helping themselves?
So I think we also missing the fact that a lot of people can't afford mental health
That too.
services. Everything costs money. A lot of people cannot simply afford it. I think that a lot of times people will look at a situation and say, oh, they don't care. They may care, they just probably can't afford it. They maybe don't have the resources. Maybe they're embarrassed. Maybe it's a lot that comes with mental health, especially when it's your kid. It's a lot of shame that comes with your kid not being well, and that's not an excuse at all. But we have to acknowledge that when it comes to it, because we're not going to get past a lot of these hurdles when it comes to mental health and all the stigma unless we actually address them all.
Well, something got to be done because them 2 little girls is the stupidest little girls I ever
Because
seen
they
in my
want,
motherfucking
because
life.
Listen, they want to be
like,
a part
ain't
of
no
the
way y'all
crime.
was true crimes.
But that means that they never
ass.
really paid attention to no true crimes, because then they would
tell
see
you what
that
not to do.
police cars have cameras. Duh. This not back in the day where I'm saying it ain't no cameras in there. They got to flip a, like, push a button.
It was a little girl
to start
saying
the
she needed her
sirens.
makeup done for her mugshot.
Yeah,
like,
I hope
homegirl wanted to make sure
But this
she
my
was
thing.
together so she could.
I think she should get it done for this. She should put a clown nose on, a nice little red wig, because you look stupid.
And
now.
the bad thing
Now
is that
you
they so
14,
young,
15,
so
and
you
going to
want-
jail for what?
And let me tell you something. They trialing these kids as adults
Listen,
nowadays.
they not playing no
like,
game, especially because they basing it off of the crimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they not taking it like, oh, you're a kid, so we gonna take it light. Now they
They
throwing
make an
a
example
book
at these kids. Well, listen.
Yeah,
because these
but
kids think they
still-
untouchable.
Yeah, but you throwing a book at these kids, but you're not getting down to the root of the problem.
Yeah.
You're not getting down to
No,
the
they
root of
just
the
caging
problem.
them up like animals. That's it.
It's not addressing the problem.
It's
It's putting
definitely
a
not.
Band-Aid on it and
Definitely.
saying we
Not
figure it
even
out
a
later.
Band-Aid.
So
They just hold a piece of gauze, apply pressure in about an hour or so, it'll stop bleeding. Is what they
it's
doing.
so sad. It's all very, very sad. All
Right?
disturbing.
So with that though, with their, like, I want to see what their parents have to say about it. Like the 2 girls. Like, I want to know how their parents feel about it. Because that would, I don't know. For me, I guess it would explain a lot. Because y'all felt so freely to feel like that. And it's girls. That's what make it also a little weird.
And
for
they
me.
was laughing
'Cause
and
it's
joking
girls.
and everything. Kiki.
Like, I want to know
I
what
don't- I
how
don't
they
think-
parents
Then they said the
feel,
boy
and-
snitched. Oh, he fucking
think,
snitched. If I knew he was snitching, I wasn't gonna tell him. Like, what the hell?
I don't think children are always a reflection of their parents. I think that
No, I'm
we
not
do
saying
what we
that,
wanna
but
do.
I want to know, like, when they found out that this was going on, what was their reaction? Like, I want to know how they felt about it.
I don't believe that children are a reflection, not all in all situations,
Right.
but some situations they are. Because I believe that you could teach your kids to be one way, and when they leave out the door, I realize they totally
Definitely.
different people. Because I don't look at kids like, who raised you? Because I know I didn't raise you to walk in the room and not speak.
Right.
So it's like, so if I see it, it's like, well, who did that? You get what I'm saying? But it's also the sense of some kids live in really, really bad environments. You get what I'm saying? They only know what they see: abuse, neglect, whatever. So they pick up those things, and it can become very, very dangerous when they pick up those habits. So sometimes the parents are at fault as well.
And that's what I
And
want
we
to
also
know.
got to remember, like, our kids are in school for 8 hours a day. They're in school longer than they're with us during the week. So at what point do we have to go in and look at the systems that our kids are in and do a revamp with that? Because that's important. The bullying, the cyberbullying, all the things that happen in these schools, the way these kids talk to each other, the things they say to each other. Like, I work in the public school system, and these kids, they literally, like, they'll get mad at you and your parent could have been murdered. And they say, oh, you about to end up on a shirt like your parent. And they'll make jokes and laugh that your parent is dead or your loved one is dead. They'll go on social media
words.
and post about it. They do stuff like that. And they know that it's hurtful, but they don't really understand the depth of what it is they're doing. So it's like the culture with all of these kids and the things that happen and that go on within the schools plays a major role in the choices that kids make. Because I'm sure they probably did that and they knew it was wrong, but they probably didn't know just how wrong it was. Because, again, they're still kids.
Yeah.
Granted, they're 14 and 15. But it's like when you see so much stuff happening in the world, it's normal to you. They probably desensitized.
But
and
I
it's
feel
it's not
like
a big
because
deal.
they had a goal of being on true crime, they knew jail was in their future. Like,
Yeah,
true
but I don't
crime
think they gave a
end
fuck
with
about
freedom.
jail.
They was just like, if we could pull this shit off, they gonna do a doc on us.
Yeah.
Our commissary might be straight. They had plans on going to jail. They just didn't know they was going to jail for this dumb shit.
See that, but we might have to factor in whether or not they have money, what kind of community.
So
they
that's
come
what I want to
from.
know. Like, I
This
really
could
want
be
to know
some
what
entitlement.
I want to
so-
know what's their background. Like, what do their parents have to say about this?
Background is
What
the
they got
white
going on?
privilege.
Yeah, because that's crazy to me. Like, you just sitting plotting on that, and then you really got in the cruiser. You ain't do.
Listen,
You ain't
it's
do.
not-
Listen,
it's not crazier than actually putting
You
it
not a
off,
true crimey.
so-
You not a true crimey person.
Yeah, but now y'all about to get in trouble for some shit y'all didn't even do that y'all fucking.
some shit that y'all didn't even thoroughly research. Cause why that wasn't your thing?
I'm glad they ain't thoroughly researched. We all
Okay.
glad they
Yeah.
ain't thoroughly researched.
At least
Yeah.
one thing I will say, they was smart enough not to use ChatGPT to figure out how to get rid of the body or what to do next. So I'll give them that, but I'm glad they caught them before they could cause any real
I
harm.
think they were just attention seeking.
Yeah, I
like they were
believe
just
so
attention
too. I believe they just wanted some attention, and hopefully they'll get some help.
Yeah, I hope that they parents get them what they need.
Yeah,
Because
because honestly, jail is not the answer. Like jail is not it. These kids need some real life therapy. They need some psychotherapy. They need a couple
They
of
need some
things.
love.
Their parents need some therapy as well. They need some group sessions as a family. They need the whole shebang.
But talking about families, so y'all saw that Fredo Bang was on Cam Newton. And he basically was talking about how how he found out that his dad was gay. Like, his dad came out and told him or whatever. And just talked about, what it's like to be a man and accepting those kind of things, especially in our society, in our world or whatever. And I just thought that was dope because black men are not always comfortable with.
So I had mixed feelings. Like I respected what he said and I understood it, but then a red flag kind of went up when he basically was saying that because his father has never brought men around and because he's not flamboyant, he didn't have a problem with it. So it's like, so if he was flamboyant, you would have a problem with it. So are you really accepting him, or are you just okay with it because he's not out, he's not embarrassing you or whatever feelings you may have felt with that? So I have mixed feelings with that. But I respect what he said, and and I'm not in that situation. I've never experienced that, so I can't really say.
I don't think he know the difference.
Between what?
Yeah.
Just either or. Like, he's saying that, like she said, he's saying that if he was flamboyant, then he would address it, because I think that's what his words was, like, I address it. But because he never brought them things to him, he just told him what he like, and this is what he do. He's fine with it. You get what I'm saying? The only thing I can respect is that that's my father, whether he's this or he's that. You get what I'm saying? I don't personally think he meant, like, if he was flamboyant that we would have a problem. I think he just probably maybe worded it wrong. I personally don't think
because he was like that crazy shit when he was talking about men that dress like women. He said a couple things that made me feel like he wasn't
I don't think I watched it
as accepting as I feel like he's accepting of it on like the surface level.
But that's a lot of people in the world. They will accept men being gay, but if you are a masculine gay, they accept that more than they'll accept
and that's what I'm saying.
feminine
I feel like
type of.
I respected what he said, but I feel like because his father is masculine presenting and he's not feminine presenting, I feel like it was easier for him to be like, okay. But a couple of comments he made about it made me feel like he's maybe not that okay with it. He's just okay with it because he's masculine presenting.
And it could have been a phase too, because I think Kim asked me, like, is your dad with a guy now? And he was like, no.
But also, the other thing is that...
Well, it could have been not even a phase. It could have been, he could be bisexual. It's not like he had kids, so...
Gay men have kids every day.
Listen, when I was
what I'm
younger,
saying.
I dated this guy. I was like maybe 13. I dated this guy, and both of his parents were both gay, and they knew they were gay, and they were trying to hide it from their family, so they decided to have him.
Oh, to be together.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying.
But this is the other thing, though, right? Because we have to make sure that we take into consideration that the fact that he's saying that he's accepting, and I think that's the part where we be getting all tangled up in, is that we be expecting people, when they say they accept something, they expect it in its totality. No, you could accept a portion of it while you're learning to accept the rest of it. Because I can understand that, right? So I could care less if a man is gay. I could care less. It becomes a problem for me when you decide that you're more woman than I am. That's when it's a problem for me. Other than that, my boy, rock out. Have a good time. But when you try to, like, now want to, you emulating women and just going the extra mile, then it's kind of like, I can understand what he's saying, right? Being like, well, you know, he not all flamboyant and crazy like that, because that could make somebody uncomfortable coming from a place of...
What that got to do with them? That's a whole person doing what they want to do. What that got to do with
This is true, but it could make people, it could make him uncomfortable because...
But that's his personal opinion.
So
what
this
does
is
that
the
have to
thing.
do?
So if it's his personal opinion, right, he can accept a portion of it and not accept the whole thing in totality. He could accept the fact that his father is a gay man, right? And not accept the fact that his father is a flamboyant gay man.
So that's not accepting that your father's a gay man.
Why not?
Because if your father's a gay man,
Because if
and
he
you're
want to dress like a
accepting
girl,
him
he could
as
dress
a
like
gay
a
man,
girl.
whether
Yeah.
he's
And
masculine
you
or
still
feminine
accept him.
presenting.
So then that is a different segment of it, right? So his father could come to him and say, hey, I love men. I like having sex with men. I like being in a relationship with men. I accept that. And then it's another conversation to be like, not only do I love men, but also I like to dress like a woman. That's a completely different thing.
No,
because
I don't
yes,
think so.
because who you sleep with is your business. I don't have to see who you sleep with.
And what you put on is your business too. So
Yeah.
you have to-
But if you're presenting it to me because you want me to accept it, you have to be okay if I say I don't accept that part of this.
I don't think people necessarily present themselves.
No, at all, to be accepted.
I think they
This
present
is who I
themselves
am.
to be able to accept themselves and live live how they want to live and be who they want to be. Not, oh, I need you to accept me. I don't think it's that type of thing.
So then for me, if it's not that kind of thing, why do we need to even announce it? Why do we even need to have a conversation with it? So like for me,
How you know if they have a conversation with it? It's just like, I'm a gay man, but he didn't say I'm flamboyant. I'm a gay man. I like men. That's it. I don't gotta tell you that.
Why? But this is my question, right? If you're not looking for acceptance, why do you even need to say that?
Because people want to live out loud. They want to be.
So
who they
live
are.
your life. You are the parent. Live your life.
Yeah, but I think people, so with acceptance of self, sometimes you have to say things out loud. Sometimes you have to tell the people that love you most, this is who I am. Because if you don't, imagine like you didn't tell your family you were gay, right? You're a gay man. You didn't tell your family you were gay. You go to Thanksgiving and everybody, well, when you about to bring home a girl, when you bring home your wife, and when you having kids, but you're gay. You know what I'm saying? And you are interested in men, so you uncomfortable. So it's like, in order for me to be able to walk through this family and live how I want to live, I have to be honest and let you know I'm gay.
Yeah.
I feel like it's important in those type of instances.
Because even if you go home, I'm gay, right? I'm gay. And then I go home one day. I ain't about to gotta go tell them I'm about to come in here dressed as a girl.
Right.
Because if that's I feel, I already told you guys, I don't think I had to say I'm gay and I also dress like a woman. That's not nothing you have to explain to anybody.
So this is what I'm saying to you, right? So if you feel like you don't have to explain that part, the dressing like a female, you don't have to explain that part. Why do you even have to explain the sexual part of it? Because it could easily be just like this.
That you're gay?
No, this is what I'm saying, right? Because we're talking about accepting it and him only accepting a portion of it because he doesn't. He's accepting his father is gay because his father is not flamboyant. What I'm saying is that those are two different things to accept. They are not one and the same. It's two different things to accept. So let's say he says, yes, I accept my dad. He a gay man, boom. If he flamboyant, I'm not going to accept that. That still don't change the fact that his father gay. His father will still have to deal with the fact that I may or may not be able to go around my son because now he still have to mask how he feel. Because out of respect for his son, he's going to be a gay man that is not going to dress flamboyant around his son.
How do we know it's out of respect for him? How do we know that he's just is masculine presenting and he's not?
But look, I get what she's saying. I get what she's saying too. It is sort of kind of like the same thing. I get the breakdown of it because it's like, in order for me to be around my son, but being around him, I would have to present more of a masculine, even though I'm gay. Some people lives are like that, I know a child that's like that, like he gay but he went just like a girl, but around certain people he has to dress
like
masculine.
See, but
because
that's shame.
It is,
that's shame
but that's because
attached
people
to it.
don't. But that's because sometimes some people are not accepting of it, and at two, a lot of people don't know how to be accepting to it because people are okay with women being gay. They're okay with women being gay if you want to be a woman, but as soon as a man, it's like it's not supposed to be. And then if it's your child or a a niece or nephew or somebody close to you, a lot of people don't know how to handle it. And even older people, a lot of older people do still to this day do not know how to handle a child or anyone coming to them, especially their child, saying that they are gay. They don't know how to handle it. I know that firsthand. I seen people that had to deal with that and fight with their family for their identity of who they are because they are not accepting of it. And I feel like education at the key with the LGBTQ plus community is something that needs to be addressed to
and
a
people
lot of
learning
people
to just mind your fucking business. They are who they are, and that's who they choose to be. It don't got shit to do with you.
And so now that's what I'm saying. Like you saying that's how they should feel, right? But if, like you said, you come into your family gathering and you letting everybody know that you gay because you have to, for self-acceptance, you gotta let it out sometimes. Okay, so when you do that and your family don't accept it, what does that do for your self-acceptance? It does not help you. It don't make you feel like I could challenge the world. Let me go. No, now you're gonna look for somebody else that you could say it to that is gonna be like, I accept you for you to do.
It don't. I don't think they look for anything from anybody else. Just getting it out is where it is, where it needs to be. You get what I'm saying? They find their own in the LGBT community. You ain't got to accept me because they got their own community.
Right.
Let me tell you something. Where everybody's gonna accept you. You got new aunts, uncles, a whole mother and a father too over here. So at the end of the day, it's not about that. You will want your family to accept you, but nowadays. Things have escalated so farther than what it was back in the days that some people don't even care. I think more of the younger children care more because they're still trying to find themselves. They're still trying to figure out who they are, and I feel like as parents, a lot of parents need to educate themselves more. We can't live in a world where they just I'm not accepting you being gay. Like that's it's just not that anymore.
Cause I grew up with a lesbian aunt or whatever, and legit, y'all, I found out later on in my adult life that she was bisexual. When I ever heard that she had slept with a man, I was looking around. I was like,
but a lot of people.
I was like, Auntie, who? She was with her, huh?
People do.
What time was she with him and where he at? Because I need to do an interview with him because she's always dressed like a...
Masculine?
Like a Cali. No, I won't even say... Because I don't like to call it masculine. I just feel like she like to be comfy. Like she a socks and sandal kind of... Like she was a socks and sandal kind of lady. She wore shorts in the winter. Like real... White boy.
Girl, you know this.
Style.
You know it's looks to the gays. You got the bull daggers. Remember the old bull daggers?
You know,
bitches the old bull daggers.
Listen,
that was Queen Latifah in them. Them was bull daggers.
But
them
like,
the first dykes.
When I found out that my aunt was a lesbian or whatever, it was like it was what it was. It was still love because she didn't seem different to us. You feel me? She still loved us the same. We still laughed the same. And I think that like if either one of my parents came to me and said that they was gay, I would just be like, cool, because I know their backgrounds from being Jehovah's Witnesses. So I would be like, I'm glad that you finally like living within whatever truth you got going on. As long as the love don't change, I could care less.
What
like,
you
who
wear,
you want to
who
sleep with,
don't got
or
nothing to
whatever.
do with me.
Just don't be. My thing is, if it's my pops, don't try to be in comp with me, my boy. If you already know I'm gonna wear the Red Jones, don't wear your Red Jones too. We don't need to be in competition.
Yo,
my boy. Let me be great. It's hard being a lady. You feel me? It's not easy. I promise you, it's not a cakewalk. It's not a cakewalk. It's real life. It make us cry, y'all. I'm just saying. I love being a woman, though, but it's a tough job.
I agree.
How would y'all handle it, though? Like, if your parents...
I don't give a fuck. My mother is married to a woman.
I don't care.
Father.
Like that's to me, that's your business.
My mother is married to a woman.
To me, that's just your business. Like, what you do is what you do.
That's
I don't
your
care. It
business.
doesn't affect me.
Yeah, and I don't think it should affect for children either. You just gotta get an understanding,
Just mind
learn
your
things.
business.
Yeah.
So with minding our business, y'all heard about Black China and her mama.
Child, yes.
Mental health.
Yes.
But the Tokyo
Trauma
always
and
done had some
substance
mental health.
abuse induced.
But she be doing a lot of shit for attention in Tokyo. She still ain't get nowhere. She does a lot of attention seeking. She was on the Baddies doing all that shit on there. She was on the auntie TV show, remember they had her on there. She does a lot of attention seeking and she does a lot of beating her daughter down, and that's really, really fucked up. She does a lot as being her mother.
She does a lot of projecting.
But I think she's jealous of her in a sense.
Absolutely.
Very, very much.
I think she see what she thought she wanted for herself, and because her daughter has it, there's a sense of jealousy there, and her daughter looks so much like her. Black China looks so much like, let me be respectful, Angela looks so much like her, and it's probably a hard pill for her to swallow that she isn't still here with me. She doing her own thing and she's successful.
So I don't necessarily agree with the part where what she saw for herself. I don't think that she jealous of Black China because she saw that and she didn't get that. I feel like she jealous of Black China because she probably drugged that girl through the mud her whole life and expected her to stay down and expected her to stay gutter, and she didn't stay gutter. She used that gutter mentality to get her where she at, and now she's realized how much pain it has caused her, how much trauma it has caused her, and she don't want to give that to her kids. And I feel like that's what her mother jealous about. Her mother jealous at the fact, like, I did so much shit to you. How dare you use that to build up a place where you could tell me I could get the fuck on with my life. I could be out of yours.
What's the point of her doing things to her daughter?
Crab in the bedroom. That's it.
I think it's deeper than that.
I think it's just I agree. I think they had like you said, really fucked up life, really this, that, and third. She made something out of it, regardless of how you look at it. She made her way. She made through it. She was on the drugs. She did all that. And then now she's no longer Black China. She's Angela. She's working through it. Once she realized what she was going through with her daughter, everything, with them Kardashians trying to take her daughter, all that stuff, I think she realized, like, I can't be this person anymore in order for me to succeed. You get what I'm saying?
And the thing is,
her son, like, you gotta
control that you have over someone who is addicted to drugs and they're not on the right track. You have a sense of control there. You can easily manipulate people. So because she's sober and she's living a life and all of that, she's found God and all of that, she can't be manipulated as easily.
But I think it's a sense of trauma. Her mother's doing it. Like, imagine telling your kid, like, I should have aborted you. Like, I think that's some really, really evil shit. Like, definitely you can't, and some shit to me you cannot come back from. I feel like words cut deeper than me having a fight with you. You get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like words cut deeper, especially when they come from your mother. You're my mother. You're the person that supposed to be there for me, protect me.
I feel like it's the way she said it, because I've heard stories from, like, other different celebrities and stuff, and they've explained that their mom almost had an abortion with them. I think it's the way in which she's saying it. She's adding a level of hurt to it, which it kind of it sounds like she's saying, like, I was going to, and I low key wish I did. The way she's saying it, and I feel like that's the hurtful part, and the part that she's not saying it from a place of her telling her story.
Because she's an evil, nasty mouth ass lady. Her mother should have swallowed with her. Nasty mouth ass lady. She's a nasty mouth lady.
That they both, especially her mom, have. We don't even know the full spectrum of what the trauma she's endured. She's been a prostitute. She's been a stripper.
Because that's what I was gonna say.
Like,
so, but her daughter was doing the same thing, and she followed the footprints of her mother.
Right.
I don't think it was on that same level though. Tokyo was in them streets.
No, because
like,
fucking Black China was too though.
But hers was on a different level. She was fucking with Tiger and stuff from very young, so she was out there, but she was with niggas with money, and you know what I'm saying, on the club scenes.
But
stuff.
she wasn't actually in the streets. But this the thing though. But she had to have started somewhere to end up to be in the arena with Tiger. She wasn't at the local Burger King getting a Whopper and Tiger walked in.
No, she was a stripper.
So this is my thing. She was a stripper, and do you really believe in your heart of hearts that as a stripper she wasn't tossing some ass on the side?
No, it's different though. It's different. With sex work, it's different levels. When you an actual prostitute out on the street,
she was hanging with Amber Rose, and Amber Rose
the danger
and
that
her
comes with it
was throwing that fucking ass.
Because like I was watching a little clip or whatever of Angela and her mother going back and forth, and her mother was like, "You don't disrespect your mother. I don't care if your mother sold your pussy out on the street. You don't be disrespectful to your mother." And it's like, she would say that because maybe that happened to her.
Yeah,
right? But then my thing is that I'm not gonna put it past Angela that before she got with Tiger, she wasn't dropping on the pole and dropping on the other pole in the VIP.
Yeah, but that's two different levels. You actually being a prostitute out on the streets and selling is different than you having clients that comes from the stripper world. That's two separate
But you know
lanes.
you don't...
No, I believe that.
Based off the stripper shows that I have seen, you don't walk in the stripper club, get on the pole, and immediately have clientele. You find that one nigga that you doing a private dance for, he whispered to you like, "Baby girl, for extra 50, let me..."
Two separate lanes. The
prostitution
dangers,
is prostitution.
No, it's not. The dangers of it is different. When you work at a strip club and stuff, they see you as a stripper. When you a prostitute, they see you as you a hoe, you dirty, you disposable. Like you're somebody they don't even care about.
Listen, if you
it's
out
different.
getting paid, they putting the money on the dresser. No matter what circumstances
in
you
your
at, they putting it on the
bikini top.
couch. Use a fucking hoe. Use
They
a
don't
prostitute.
respect you. They not
There's no,
marrying you.
there's
So
no
here-
stick.
so here's my question.
If we're fucking in a library,
Listen,
So here's
'Cause
my
it's a safe
question, y'all.
space.
Here's
if
my
we fucking in
question.
my Buick, like
and I'm
this
getting
is
paid
what-
for
listen,
it,
but listen,
bitch, I'm a
let me
prostitute.
ask
I'm a
y'all this
hoe.
question.
If you in a strip club and the money getting put on a couch.
and
You a
don't
fucking
have time to
prostitute,
rinse
you a
off
fucking hoe.
before the
And
next
you a
one,
stripper.
You a hoe. Cause
So let me ask y'all this question. Why is it that prostitution is illegal but pornography is not?
We ain't make the rules.
we didn't.
But that's my point. The point of it is.
But guess what? Sex in the
optics.
strip club is illegal. You not supposed
But
to be in there
again,
prostituting in front
but
of the strip club.
again, you being a prostitute is illegal. But you can now go and you can decide the same way a prostitute says, I'm out to sleep with this man because I need $50. You could be in porn and say, I'm out to sleep with this man because I need $50. It's the same concept, but one is legal and one is not. It's because pornography is viewed as it's up here, but when you're a prostitute, you're viewed as dirty and you're nasty and you're disposable and you don't matter. It's two separate things. Sex work is sex work, but it's two separate things.
I still feel like whether her grandmother was selling Tokyo ass and then Tokyo decided, you know something.
You be going left.
What?
I'm just saying because because it had to start from somewhere. Tokyo didn't just start growing up and just decide one day like, oh, when I have a daughter, I'm selling that. No, it had to be like so.
It
so-
could-
Her
it
mother
could've
ain't probably do it. Why would you be
Listen,
putting that
It
on
could've-
that
it
girl,
could've
that
simply
grandmother?
been
This
she
is
had
what
a
I'm about to say
boyfriend
to
that
you.
got her into something.
Nah,
It could have been something simple like
so
that.
this is what I'm gonna explain to y'all because it can be a relationship thing, like okay, a man put her onto it, but it could also be a generational thing. My second great grandmother was a madam of a brothel out in New York, right? Her first
Your family be all over, bro.
they listen, I be learning something. That's why I be proud to say I know my ancestry because baby, I need to know where I come from so I know the battles that I have to face. So she ran a brothel, right? She had my great grandmother. She then my great great grandmother then turned into a very religious person. But my great grandmother was still out in these streets being reckless. My great grandmother had my grandmother. My grandmother had her first child at 13 years old. Right? My grandmother was the one that decided my kids are not gonna go through what we went through. My grandmother saw her mother drunk, you know what I'm saying, random men coming in and out, you know what I'm saying, sexual abuse, all that type of stuff. So it comes from somewhere. So Tokyo is not who she is just because she woke up on a Tuesday and decided.
No, we don't believe that.
I don't
Something
agree with
happened.
that.
Something happened to her that she saw that was okay, and she moved forward. For her to make a statement like, if your mother selling your ass, not selling hers, selling yours, you don't buck up on your mother. Something happened to her in regards to the relationship she had with her mother to think that is okay.
Or she could just feel like that's okay because she don't want her daughter to buck up on her, so she just gonna say what she need to say.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, because
I don't think it's always
we ain't
that
gonna say that
deep.
everybody
No,
parents
but
is.
I'm just saying that play that I want us to take into consideration. Damn, it's a protest for what we talk about.
United States of America.
They said, hell no, we won't go. Give us free.
But I think the trauma and things that you endure being out in the streets is enough to have that kind of mindset. So you could be one person, but once you get out in the streets and you've lived a certain type of lifestyle, it changes who you are. It changes the way you think.
Because
So
she
that
could have
is
been
enough.
she could have been raised right.
Right.
But when she finally got into her adult life to get outside, she went outside. She learned different things. She started being in the streets. You get with men. You start.
Or
People
somebody
be broke.
could slip you something
start.
at a
Yeah,
bar, now
you
you
pick
tripping.
up bad habits.
But now this
Things
is my
happen.
question though. This is my question for that. So let's say your parent was raised right, all of those great things, right? They raised right, everything, but they get out into the world. They know what a good parent look like, correct? Because they was raised right. Which means even though they might be in fucked up, sticky situations, wouldn't they at least provide their kids with the basic necessities because they was raised right?
Sometimes not. You look at it now. Like you see these kids growing up, they would come from Bloomfield, Windsor, East Hartford to Hartford to try to be fucking down. They be like, get back over there where you live at because y'all not even out here like that. So it does not matter. People want what the hell they don't supposed to get.
Right.
What you not supposed to have, they want it. So
But
the
now
struggle that
those
we grew
people-
up with.
Right.
They wanted it.
But now that they're parents, what kind of parents are they?
It don't matter. You never know. You never know. You could get a mixture of both.
So that's
what they put themselves in and what they grew up as. You could get a mixture of both. But the thing about it is we don't know what happened to Black China Mom. We just assuming, different scenarios of things. The way that she treats her daughter, the way that she talked to her, is some kind of trauma there in some shape. It is, but it's fucked up no matter how you look at it.
You don't have to psychoanalyze her.
It's fucked up. And then her daughter goes back and try to be nice to her, be together with her, try to fix things and stuff, and it never works. She's fighting her own demons, and people like that, you cannot. Them people you just can't fuck with.
And we don't even know how much of that is actual mental health issues.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't know how much of that.
So I know that because me and my mother have a real uppity relationship, and I'm low tolerance for it. I'm not dealing with no disrespect from nobody. Straight up. Yeah,
but yeah,
I don't know.
Feel like
I feel like trauma is something is steep in mother-daughter relationships. They can get really, really testy. I feel like I learned like what my mom is that. I know she's been through things. I know she's been a lot. And I try to, as an adult, try to take more consideration of that. You get what I'm saying? That she hasn't really healed from the things that she went through. Because after, I'd be like, I don't give a fuck what you went through because we ain't deserve the shit you put us through. You get what I'm saying? But I try to be more understanding as an adult. Like, she still ain't healed. But it's like, when are you going to try to work through those things?
And
like,
that's probably
how long it's going to take for you to try to work through those things.
I think we have to understand and be willing to accept the fact that everybody isn't going to work through things. Sometimes people are just, that's not the path.
And they older. They was born in. So at this point,
like it was that long.
I'm just saying, it was way back then. So sometimes people don't believe in therapists. I swear to God, I remember telling my sister, "Hey, you should get a therapist." She was like, "We don't need one of those." I'm like, "I see a therapist." I talked to my therapist. It's like, no, but now at this big age, she has one and she loves it. Yes. Like, I love it.
But that's the difference between with education and not being educated when it comes to therapy, because people don't even understand. In order to be able to say, I have trauma, I need some therapy, I've been through some things, I need therapy, you need to be able to recognize it in order to acknowledge
But that's
it.
in the Black community. We was taught what goes on in this house stays in this house. What happens in this house behind these closed doors stays in this closed doors. So things have been done to a lot of people in a home that they weren't even comfortable with to be able to say that these things happen to them in.
Which is
you get what I'm
backwards, because they go to their friend and tell their friend all the stuff that happened, but you have an issue telling a stranger. What's the difference?
Yeah.
Because you don't know if that stranger gonna tell somebody else.
I mean, but it's
you don't
against
know
the
if
law.
the stranger gonna tell somebody
it's
else.
Against the law.
It's against the law, but we see people breaking
But I
the law
think
every day.
I think it's just the getting to know, because I went through a few therapists. I'm the type of like, this person don't mess with me. I can't. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm gonna be able to pour all my stuff to you.
See, and that's the thing. People also need to know that therapy is not a one glove fits all type of thing.
Right.
You can sit with a therapist and say, okay, this doesn't really work for me, and you can move on to somebody else. Like, we have those options. You can hop around. You can see how everything you see until this is a right fit.
Cause like for me, I think I told y'all, I know, but my hair is bad underneath here, but this hair is getting on my nerves. But anywho, like for me, maybe about 4 going on 5 years ago, I found out that the dad that I grew up with is actually not my biological dad. And I found out by, like I told y'all before, doing my ancestry, it came back and started tagging me to people. And I'm like, these not my people. Like, I don't know them. So I went through that whole thing and I sought out therapy because at first I was like, oh, it'll be fine. I'll be straight or whatever. I'll be good. But it wasn't until, like, I still had to deal with my mom, right? And my mom is the one that kind of, sort of, well, she knew. And she kept it a secret. I was 36. You feel me? And she just went back. I found out. She immediately was sad then, or like, what do we need to do? Da-da-da-da. But as the days went on, she moved like everything was back to normal. So I sought out therapy because I'm like, how do you get over the hurt of the person that taught you that lying was horrible? How do you get over them being the biggest liar? How do you get over that part? How do you learn to trust this person again? Because at the end of the day, yes, the man who, I guess I could call him my stepfather because my mom and him were married. I'm upset with him.
But why do you call him your stepfather if he raised you? And
Because
he's not your biological
He
father?
didn't raise me. That's the part. So you made a choice because you knew before I took my first breath of air that I was not your child. And you made a choice not to speak up, but then you also made a choice to be a fucked up ass individual my entire life. When you could have just left me fatherless, right? If you didn't want to tell who my daddy was, you could have just left my mother to be a single mom. Instead, you took me on, but you didn't pour into me what needed to be poured into me, right? So I got daddy issues for a nigga who ain't my daddy when it could have been easily avoided, right? Like when we talk about forgiving and the abortion thing, he pushed my mother down 2 flights of stairs, 8 months pregnant with me. I'll never forget that nigga. As far as I'm concerned, jail, death penalty. Is there a statute of limitation on attempted murder? Because here I am, 41, and you tried to take me out. But then you wanted me to believe all my life that you loved me, but you tried to take me out. I can't do this with you. But I had to.
So are you in therapy now?
Yes, definitely, because I feel like I have to repair the relationship with my mother because she is my parent. You feel me? Okay. She is my parent who I've known my entire life. My dad, my biological dad, I've known him for about 5 years. We still getting to know each other because
So my question is, do you want to repair the relationship with your mother because you want to repair the relationship with her,
definitely,
or just because she's your mother?
No, I definitely want to repair the relationship with my mother because I love her like that. Like,
so I think
I love who she is as a person. And for me, the reason why I'm in therapy is because I have to learn how to separate my mother from being a human being, right? And understanding all of the things that she went through that could have catapulted all of the things that I went through, right? In the beginning, I was just like, it'll be fine, I could work through it. When I saw she was avoidant of the topic is where I then, like you said, you have a zero tolerance with your mother. I had to take a step back. And at first I was quiet and didn't say anything because that's how I was raised. Like how Tokyo feel like Angela should be, you don't buck up on your mother. That's how I felt. Like I can't really speak my truth or how I feel because I'll offend her. And it got to a point where I blacked out and went off because at what point do me as a grown woman get to tell you got me fucked up? Because not only do you have me fucked up in the aspect mentally and emotionally, you got me fucked up because I have children. So if I don't know I have sons. If I don't know where I come from, I don't know who my people are. My kids could be sleeping with their family. The same thing for me. I'm a woman. I live in Hartford. My family is from here. I could have slept with one of my cousins. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's that type of stuff that it's like people don't understand that when you're going through these kind of things, you got to work through. It's not just, oh, well, you found out that you got a new dad. It's fine. It's fine. Just keep going. No, for me, it was way deeper because it's like I have broke bread. You feel me? I have broke bread with people that's my actual cousins. You feel what I'm saying? It could have been anything where a cousin tried to talk to me or whatever the case, and how will we know? You feel what I'm saying? How will we know? So it's just shit like that. Like, I went to therapy because I was just like, I got to be able to navigate this shit, not only for me, but for my sons. For my babies, for my future, because if I just held it in and kept it to myself, that leaves me doing what? Crashing the fuck out. Especially because it's not like I feel like I got a better dad. No, it's just now the DNA match. Now I can watch how you move and how you operate and see how your family move and operate, where now who I am and some of my traits make sense. And for me to be like, oh, this some shit that we just carrying because this in our generation. Let me break this shit. Because I have come to realize I'm the curse breaker. I'm the generational curse breaker for my bloodline. And it's cool, baby, because we not doing it. We not carrying on the shit we've been carrying on. And I just feel like therapy is definitely key. But also,
this is why I can't wait for my book to come out, because I feel like you would benefit from reading my book, because I delve into so much of these type of things with self-identity and healing and generational trauma and just lived experiences that shift who you are. And I delve so much into it because I understand a lot of what you're saying.
And that's
why you right now. And I'm really glad that you're in therapy, because I feel the emotion and I feel the anger that you have. Girl. And I just can't wait until you get to the other side of it and you don't really have, you know what I mean?
I was going to say, I'm better this year than I was last year. Last year I was still ready. Last year I was still, like, I had to put my mom on ice for like a year because she called me on some, oh, I'm about to tell your dad, pop, pop, pop. I let her go off because that's her baby father. Who am I to tell you you can't blast your baby father? I know I be wanting to blast mine, so have at it. But she was just like steady, and I was just like, you ready to have all this static? Did you call him about me? Did you say to him, hey, let's talk about the elephant in the room? She's your child. We've gone ahead and exposed that.
Do you know your mother's story? Her whole story?
I do. And I think that's why in the beginning I was so open to just being like, we don't really have to put too much on it. Like, let's just go ahead and keep building on our relationship that we already have, because I thought that she was going to be, how can I say, have some more compassion for me. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like not try to avoid the topic, but really have the conversation like, this is what was going on. This is what happened, blah, blah, blah.
She can't have that level of compassion for you if she doesn't have it for herself.
But this is the thing. So that's why when we had our break, I meant that. Like, my mom is one of those people, when it comes to me, she'll say, I'll talk to you in a few days. We can have a heated conversation. I'll talk to you in a few days. And she'll legit call me in a few days. And I had to be the person to be like, don't call me. If you call me, then that lets me know that you really don't respect me and you want me to go off again. So just don't call me. It's obvious I need to do this by myself first before I can incorporate you. Because incorporating you in the beginning, it ain't working. Because you making excuses instead of just saying, yo, I fucked up.
Yeah, but you can't have it both ways though.
Who?
You can't want her to act a certain way, but then when she acts a certain way, you don't want it. You wanted her to be open and to be honest and to do all these things.
At her big age?
But then when she wants to call you in her time, when she maybe is ready,
she wasn't calling me on her time to talk about her life or how we came to. She was calling me to tell me how she wanted to cuss him out about something that had nothing to do with me. And I just felt like, how do you call somebody to cuss them out about this one thing, but you've never made an attempt to make a phone call to talk about the thing that matters the most, which is the child.
That's avoidance, and that
yeah.
comes with
So for
shame
me,
that
when I
has.
realized, oh, you avoiding this. Let me go ahead and put you over here, because what I'm doing is not avoiding this. We need to talk about it.
You have to dig into the avoidance part of it, because there's a lot of shame with it.
Mm-hmm.
There's shame that comes with being so deceptive for so many years.
And we better
there's
now.
There's beating yourself up. There's a lot that comes into it. So you have to
I
separate.
put her on ice for a year. Like, you need to work on whatever you need to work on, because in order to come back over here, we need to have a conversation. There's no more just because we family and some time has passed, now you get to just pick up the jack and now we back good. No, a conversation needs to be had, because I need you to understand that moving forward, I am an adult. And if you can't meet me here as an adult and have a real ass conversation with me as an adult and be able to talk about your wrongs and all of that, and you don't have to tell me all of your shit, how your wrongs affected me, the shit that you did that ultimately directly affected me. If we can't have that conversation and gain some understanding, you need to exit stage left till you're ready. Because if I'm ready for it, right, that means I've done the work on my part to accept whatever it is that you tell me. But if you're not ready, you gotta stay the fuck over there. Because it's like Charity said, it's zero tolerance over here. We either gonna have a hard talk, kiss and hug and make up and high five and go for ice cream later, or we're not gonna have, but we're not gonna avoid it. We're not gonna pretend like it didn't happen.
I think that's where grace come in, because
and for me, I've had grace for 37, 38 years. I've held grace. And
you just found out though.
I just found out, but that doesn't mean that my life with my mother wasn't hard. My mother left me.
No, I'm saying outside of that.
I get what she's saying. She's like, at certain expense. I get it, because I be feeling like that too. Have grace. My husband be going off of me and like be a little bit easy on your mother, and I'll be like in my head like, hell fucking on. Nobody wasn't easy on me.
Because this is the thing.
You get what I'm saying?
But growing up,
and I try to be,
because we know kids who used to beat their parents up. You got me fucked up. Jenny ain't no noodles in here. Boop 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 boop. We wasn't whooping our mother's asses.
I'm talking about.
We was like,
listen,
you got it.
This is what she's talking about. She's talking about like what her situation on herself, like give her a little bit of grace, because and that's me even saying for myself, like my mother, I know she's been through some things, so sometimes I'm like a little standoff. I don't want to talk to you, no nothing. But I learned to like now give her a little bit of grace. I learned that a lot of things wasn't always her fault. You get what I'm saying? I learned that she didn't know certain things, she didn't have certain things, so it was like give her a little grace. I give her a little grace about them.
Yeah, and giving grace
it's not really as bad.
You're
you get what I'm saying?
or giving them an excuse. It just means that I understand what you came from and how you ended up where you are, and I'm not going to penalize you for that. We have to talk about this. I feel some type of way about this. This has affected me, but I'm not going to penalize you, because a lot of times, like, I used to like cut my mom off and stuff, and I came to realize that's a sense of rejection. So I'm not going to be able to get some of the things that I need from her because she's feeling rejected because I'm cutting her off.
Right.
So I'm low key sabotaging what it is that I think I'm trying to get out of her. And some things I had to understand and accept I'll never get from my mother. Yep. And I understand that. I accept that. Unfortunately, you know, it's a hard pill to swallow and it'll hurt forever, but it just is what it is.
But you see how bold you was to be able to cut your mother off. I wasn't that girl.
See, but it wasn't just a bold, I'm going to cut you off. It was something that happened over time until where I got to the point where I was like, I'm good on this. I can't keep doing this.
Just imagine if you weren't that. So like for me, it's always been in my eyes, my mother can't do no wrong. Like, yeah, she had a hard time or whatever, but look at her. She's so beautiful. She recovered. She doing this. She doing that. I'm looking at her for who she is now, like accepting of that and being like, okay, all the shit
that's why I asked
that
if you
happened
knew your mother's story.
Yeah, I'm like, all the shit that happened in the past, like that just shows her story. For me, it's like, I'm not asking you for the public to give you acceptance. I'm not asking you to talk to the public about what transpired. I'm asking you to give me grace and have a one-on-one with me so that we could discuss what transpired, not only during conception and during me being a kid, but now how that thing has transitioned in my life as an adult.
And you know
we
what
need to talk about that. And for me, because I know who I am, I've given grace from the time that I could acknowledge this shit is fucked up. I ain't go off. I wasn't like, you know something, you're the worst of it. No,
but do you think she know how to? Do you think wholeheartedly she know how to have that conversation?
Definitely.
But here's the thing,
this is the thing, so that we could be clear. There are 9 of us. I am the oldest girl. There are 9 of us.
Your mother had 9 children.
My mother has 9 children. The children that are after my sister, I'm only gonna say sister one time on this show. Every time after that, she's my mother's daughter. Every child after her has a different experience. Cause I don't fuck with the girl, but we talk about that.
Joe.
They have a different experience of who my mother is. You feel me?
Every child has a different experience.
So the thing is that for me, right? When my mother came back into my life at 6, she didn't come back just her by herself. She came back with a baby. So I never at 6, 7, 8, all the way to my grown-up life, I never ever was able to get that time with her that I should have gotten, where it was just me and her, and she tended to me emotionally, how she has tended to my youngest.
And did that mess you up emotionally?
It did. Yeah. Because now I gotta be the tough one.
You can hear it.
I'm the tough one. You responsible. Everybody else is lax. They just chilling. They like,
yeah. It sounds like this kind of was like the cherry on the top.
Definitely. So for me, it was like, oh, okay. If I could give you grace,
but I want you to remember with grace, the same way we all have different love languages and we all receive things differently. Just because you think you're giving her grace does not mean that what she's receiving is grace. She may be receiving it as something else. We got to keep that in mind. We have to keep in mind.
But I feel like she's receiving it as what I'm giving to her because she felt like before I went off and we had to take a break, she still felt like our relationship was still the same. So I feel like...
Did she tell you she felt like it was the same?
Yes.
Or was she just acting like it was the
same? No,
same?
she felt like that. She felt like, well, we weren't talking about it on the regular. You didn't ask any questions, so we were good. I thought, whenever you were ready to work it out, if you wanted to go to therapy, then you would, but you didn't say anything else. So I just felt like it was okay. And for me, because in my mind, in this situation, I'm still the child at the time. And it wasn't until I realized, like, I'm the adult in this, we got to exit stage left.
See, I think that's why when it comes to healing, when it comes with our parents, especially our mothers as women, we should approach it from woman to woman, not just I'm your child and you're my mother. We should approach it as just I'm a woman and you're a woman. This is your experience. This is mine. This affected me this way as a woman.
Came to where we are
because
today.
it's hard to understand choices that our parents make.
You know what we need? We need like a woman group. Yeah. Everybody sit around, mothers and everything. They don't have things like that. People could get together.
My Lord, kumbaya.
Yo, grow up. Like what?
That's what we need.
Like we need something like that. Somebody need to have a group like that. Like women go sit around with mothers and all that stuff, and sometimes try to hash out some of the issues that we have had
and that's the goal that
growing up, just to make life a little bit better.
Yeah.
And everybody should. Looking to getting some kind of therapy
and
talking to somebody.
Even get to the place where you're okay with being okay with stuff.
It, yeah.
Like, I have long past the point where I feel like I need a big reconciliation and we need to fix this. I don't want to fix anything. Things are going to be what it's going to be. Right? And I'm not okay with it, but I've accepted it. And I've accepted you for who you are and the choices that you've made and where they've gotten us. And it's cool. We're here. I love you. You're my mom. That's never going to change. I only have one mom. It is what it is.
Everybody find somebody to talk to.
Yes.
Yes, I've been in therapy going on 6 years.
Good job.
6
Find
years.
somebody to talk to. If you need help, talk to somebody. Don't be afraid to talk to somebody. If something going on in your home, don't be
Definitely.
afraid to talk to somebody. Tell somebody somebody out there to help. Somebody
is,
that care,
definitely.
even if you think they don't care. It's somebody that cares. Don't believe it that nobody cares. So let's all start looking out for each other.
Being
A little
kind
bit
to
more.
one another.
Yes, definitely. Being kind to one another. Definitely.
And if you see something, say something. That's just not outside. It's if you see something going on with somebody, hey, you good? I noticed you haven't really been talking much. What's up? You know what I'm saying? Be nice to each other. Be kind. Check in on one another.
All
Be
right,
humans.
y'all. So the goal for the week is be nice. Find somebody to talk to. Get into therapy. Love on somebody if you see that they need love. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
And just like that, ladies, I love y'all.
We out.
Me too, girl.
And we out.
Later.
Peace. We missed it.
I was gonna go to school before I got high.
We could talk about him next week.